Here's Dan Shapiro to help you find your edge, master your process, and own your future.
Hey guys, good evening everybody. Welcome to another edition of the AccessToTrade.com nightly wrap-up show. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Hope everybody is doing well. Guys, take a moment out, support the channel. All I ask is click that like button. Hopefully I will continue to do my best. So let's talk about it. So, nasty sell-off for the last several weeks. Temporary pause in the selling when we hit the 150-day moving average. And the last couple of days, I've seen pretty good relief rally. I think that's the best way you can say it. As we talked about in last night's video, the question was, well, how much juice does this dead cat bounce have, right? And again, until we reclaim back a daily supply, this is all deemed a dead cat bounce. And the bulls had an opportunity to price improve today. Okay, we actually got back above yesterday's channel and then instantly got rejected, selling off $6 off their highs. It's not exactly what you want to see. Does that mean that the dream is over for the bulls to now rally? No, it's not over, because here's kind of where the line in the sand is drawn here. So the bulls are not dead yet on this bounce. Although again, I have a lot of shorts that I am watching. And we had some pretty good value today, limited value, but pretty good value. The only good thing that you can make sense from the bullish point of view is, well, today was kind of sort of an inside day. Although we did reclaim back yesterday's highs and lost them, right? We're still above the previous day's lows, and we put in a fourth consecutive days of higher lows, right? That's from the bull case. From the bear case was, well, this is all happening underneath the 50-day moving average. Go back to 2022, you'll see there's pockets of nasty strength, nasty violent moves, and it always winds up the same way, testing recent lows. Again, we will see. This is why I'm always prepared on both sides of the market. From the point of speculation money, right? Yeah, Bitcoin continued to build, right? Continues to build lower. We lost, well, you guys lost that, nothing to do with it. The 76, 77 level that held the 3-month support. And right now it's trading. Last night it was around 70, 71,000 when I was recording the video. Now it's around 68,000. Again, the longer that the bulls cannot reclaim back the 76, 77,000 area, we should retest last week's lows of 60,000. And the relevance of that is there's nothing to do with Bitcoin, it has something to do with speculation money. We talk about this every single day. And the longer the speculation money is on the sidelines or trapped or not chasing, that diffuses any opportunity to reclaim back bigger levels. So it's very, very important to kind of use that as a barometer for speculation potentially could come in or stay out of the market. We talked about last night, right? The memory names, the storage names, right? They're not rallying. They've been heavy. They've been heavy, heavy, heavy. We talked about SanDisk. Again, we'll get to the pivots in a second. We talked about SanDisk last night, right? Potentially losing the 10-day moving average. We talked about Micron last night, right? Micron is so close, boy. Woo-wee! It is so close. Not there yet, but not that far. So SanDisk when today is giving a pretty big move from the natural pivot. Again, we'll get to the pivots in a second, but you got Micron very, very weak. You look at WDC starting to get weak. You see STX starting to get weak. And these are all storage plays that did not participate with the rally in the last couple of days. Again, it's very simple sometimes for common sense. Whatever doesn't go up must go, right? So Micron it looks like a day away. Micron really, really looks like if it could just confirm last week's lows, this thing could really start getting aggressive. And SanDisk, this is now the first close below the 5 and the 10-day moving average. It looks like a potential 518 test incoming, right? And then you have the names that had recent bounces. Okay, you had PLTR that had a really, really good 2-day bounce. Again, got rejected off the 10-day moving average. And again, you could turn around and say, well, wait a minute, maybe it's just resting, right? Stocks can't go up all the time. Absolutely. But the problem is when you have stocks coming off the bottom any downtick, right? Literally any downtick scares the bids because there's so many traders that are trapped. And when you look at the intraday action on PLTR today, it didn't just give you a feel of, well, it's just resting for the next leg up. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. But you can see by the 60-minute view, right? Right off the open, it just got really sold to the bottom of the range. You look at a name, for example, like Google, right? Google continues to sell. Google is my first trade of the day today. Google somehow is still holding on to the 50-day moving average. But this is, starting to see some really aggressive put buying. They were coming in for the 315. They were coming in for the 312 and a halves. And I saw some 310 short-term expiration puts coming in. Amazon, right? Amazon did not have a great reaction to the quarter. It tried to rally a couple of times. Yesterday actually gave us a pretty decent pivot to the upside. But as you can see, it got rejected at yesterday's highs. And now the stock, it put an inverted hammer. Not a great sign if you are an Amazon shareholder. Again, something to watch for continuation lower prices. Meta, right? Meta. And again, we're just going through these names here. You had a nice bounce on Meta for the last couple of days. Put in an inside day today, which is a good thing. Again, when a stock rests after a big move, that's a good thing. But just like everything else that's building below supply, the longer it stays below supply, the higher probability you'll start to crack again. The same kind of thing that we talk about with all asset classes is something that you have to keep an eye on. Tesla, the one stock that's holding up fairly well is Tesla, right? We've had several pivots on Tesla in the last couple of days. Today we had another one here. It's had a nice 4-day run, right? Really nice 4-day run, and it stopped right at daily supply. Is it possible it gets back above the February highs and continues this rally? Sure. Why not? Right? Why not? Stocks do it all the time, but you have to now keep into perspective. Again, just like the Qs, this is all happening below the 50-day moving average. I will be watching this thing. This thing could get back above the February highs tomorrow. Maybe this rally does extend. Oracle has been really, really strong. Really, really strong. Again, this is what happens when stocks get beat up and then they get an upgrade, right? They get an upgrade and you go on multiple day runs. Same thing happened today with Shopify. Again, died on an ugly death in the last month or so, had a relief rally yesterday, got upgraded today, first close above the 10-day moving average. So there's definitely pockets of strength. There's a lot of pockets of weakness going on, but the most important part is what happens next. So let me give you guys some levels on the Qs. For the Qs to wake up, right, for this thing to be deemed more than a dead cat bounce, we have to get back above 619 on the close. 619 will not only reclaim the 10-day, the 20-day, but it's going to reclaim back the 50-day moving average. There's no room for interpretation. You don't have to sit there on social media, argue with randoms what happens when the market, what the market needs to happen to go higher. It needs to get back above 619. If we get back above 619, then yes, this low on the 5th would be deemed as a short-term bottom off the 150-day moving average, and stock prices need to start accumulating above that 619 level. On the downside, right, there's a flip side as well. You got to watch the 611 area, right? We close kind of right at the lows. So the last thing the bulls want to do tomorrow is start building below the 611 area. Again, not what you want to see. But more important of the 611, the last thing you want to do is start losing the previous day's low. Because if the previous day's low gets violated, right, that's that 605 level. Once it gets violated, there's a really high probability that we're going to retest back this week's lows of roughly 594.70s on the lows. So again, a good news, bad news for the bulls. Not great that they couldn't hold on to yesterday's highs. Not good that they sold into the low of the day. And more important is not good that a lot of names did not participate. So let's talk about today's pivots. Here is the first one. Well, not the first one of the day, but it kind of in order. Tesla continues to be strong, 421.25, 3-star play. Again, if you are in the webinar, you kind of, I don't want to go into the whole big detail of describing what a 3-star play is, but it's basically nothing that's macro. So it got above the 10-day moving average and traded into the 20, put up a $6 move here. Now the key for Tesla is to get above the highs from February the 3rd. If they could get above the February 3rd highs, then you start talking about a potential move into the mid 30s. But again, if it cannot get back above those levels, it's going to turn around and start going lower. But again, all intents and purposes, Tesla gave a really nice move. Oracle has just been an absolute beast. Yesterday, we had that pivot on the pre-market highs on the original upgrade of 150.40s. Today, it got back above yesterday's channel of 159.75 and put in a really, really nice move on Oracle. I thought there was a shot it could get to 67, got to 65.30s, but beautiful move. Beautiful, beautiful move. Again, now the question is, was that it, right? Was that it on the dead cat bounce? But all intents and purposes, really, really nice move on Oracle. Apple did not get to the bottom of the range. PLTR did not get to the top of the range. Avago didn't get to the top of the range. Texas Instruments opened up. We talked about Texas Instruments yesterday. We talked about this thing. It opened up like 216 and just kind of grinded back up. So nobody even had an opportunity to trade it. SanDisk, right? We talked about it last night. Storage week. 5150, if it builds below, can flush, right? So here is SanDisk, right? Here's SanDisk, $10 off the pivot. And after hours, it's trading down a little bit as well. If this thing starts confirming today's lows tomorrow, you should get a move into this 518, 519 area. So that's a nice move on SanDisk. And Google. Yeah, Google was actually my first trade of the day. Buyers came in right from the word go for tomorrow's expiration for the 317.25 area. Stocks started getting hit pretty aggressively. Again, we should think about that. I was talking about it in the webinar. It gave us like a $2.50 move, right? It gave us a $2.50 move. I covered, pretty much 90% of my position, just because we shorted already down 8 on the opening print. Not the easiest thing in the world, but it gave us another $2.50. So if it would have opened down 2, we would have gotten a $6-7 move probably. But average true range is a big deal. But as we talked about a few minutes ago, there are a lot of put buying coming into this thing. I want to keep an eye on this thing for the next couple of days if this selling starts to resume. So pretty good session today. You got SanDisk, you had Tesla, you had Oracle, you had Google. The question is tomorrow, can the bulls reclaim today's levels, or is this going to be utilized just as a dead cat bounce and we start resuming back to the downside tomorrow? Guys, have a great night, everybody. Stay blessed, and I'll see you on the field tomorrow.